Good afternoon and welcome to Loughborough University for today's WNBL Division 1 fixture. The Loughborough Riders getting ready to take on the Worcester Wolves. And this is both their third game in the league this season. Loughborough Riders currently 1-1 and the Worcester Wolves currently 2-0, sitting in second place in the table, just below Ipswich, who are in first with 4 wins. And my name is Tahir Hadja, and alongside me today, just fresh off a WBBL game, we've got Christina Gaskin. Thank you very much for coming and getting involved with me. I saw you doing your cool down stretch, and I said, look, I don't really want to do this by myself. I want somebody to talk to and share the knowledge of the game, so thank you for jumping in again.
You're very welcome.
So we're looking forward to this WNBL clash. Both of these teams, both strong players on both positions, in the form of Katie Janaszewska, a young player coming through Charnwood, Erin Hykin, who posted a monster game in their first game of the season, Makana Stone also for the Loughborough Riders. And for the Worcester Wolves women's team, players to look out for, number 5, Carolina Marquez from Portugal, a fantastic player that we'll talk a little bit later on in the stream about, and hopefully Christina Gaskin can share her knowledge on it as she gets through the game, and Shanice Turner as well working inside. So the starting fives are getting ready to go. If you are joining us on the YouTube, feel free to share your comments, thoughts on the game, share it with us, and also get involved on the social media at NBL England on Twitter and on Instagram. Let your friends and family know that they're watching us here at Loughborough University for today's WNBL clash. The Loughborough Riders getting ready to take on the Worcester Wolves women. So Christina, you just finished the WNBL game. Congratulations on a win against Nottingham Wildcats. How do you feel after that win?
It was a very hard-fought game. We always know that when we play Nottingham, they're very physical. They've got great talent in Shumpert and Joyner inside. So it was a good win to check off.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but as we get ready for this game, so the starting fives for you that we can see, we've got Hannah Bird, Janaszewska starting for Loughborough as the teams will take a knee. For Black Lives Matter, we've also got Hykin, the captain for Loughborough, starting, number 7, Robin Ainge, and 20, Makana Stone starting for Loughborough Riders. And for the Worcester Wolves on the floor, we have number 16, Saya Dagger on the floor, number 14, Grace Brownell. We have Marquez on the floor, and driving strong to the rack there on her left hand, I believe it's number 18, Shanice Turner. So let's get right into this action here at Loughborough University, as we're up top with Ainge. Ainge driving on the left-hand side, and a foul is called, first foul of the game.
Yeah, that's something that you'll expect to see from both Hykin and Ainge, looking to attack the basket early, looking to be aggressive and create something for their team.
And Ainge is now on the free throw line. First free throw for the first points of the game, unable to get it to go. So obviously, spending time at Loughborough University, you would have got to know a lot of these players, especially the ones who've been here for a couple of years, over your time at practice and getting involved in day-to-day studies. Absolutely,
and I think players like Ainge and Hykin, they bring tremendous leadership to a team like this, to a young team, and then obviously with the addition of Stone, who just fouled there, unfortunately. The three of them really do lead the team and try and keep everyone together and united.
The Loughborough Riders head coach Antonio Quintero. Have you had much chance to spend time with Antonio this season? Yeah,
so he's our assistant coach in the WBBL. Yeah. He has a big impact offensively with what we run. We put in a lot of motion action this year that I think came from, his input. So that's always exciting. Big three there.
Big three for the Worcester Wolves. Bautista, the captain for the Wolves, and here's the full court pressure. Marquez pushing up against Ainge. Bird tries to split the defenders, knocked away. Worcester Wolves applying the pressure on defense early on. A strong bite to the basket, 3-point shot off the glass almost, and a rebound for Stone. Long pass ahead, Janaszewska. Janaszewska short too, doesn't get it to go, rebounded. Brownell with the rebound, and Worcester Wolves back in possession now. Worcester playing with some tempo, taking the game to the Riders this moment in time.
Yeah, I feel like one thing that's obvious from the jump is that they all look to put the ball on the ground and attack the basket. They're not really looking inside as of yet.
Loughborough on the left-hand side. Intercepted now. Here's the Wolves. Long pass ahead. Back to basket with the spin. Hands it off. Marquez into the basket. Blocked by Stone. Both teams end-to-end. Fast-paced start to the game. Ainge onto her left hand. The layup short and rebounded. The Worcester Wolves with a chance to set up on offense. Long two, and a rebound for Janaszewska. So Katie Janaszewska has had quite a journey in terms of basketball. Actually started at a Leicester Riders community session that I was coaching at a school called Castle Donington, which over the years has produced quite a few good young female hoopers, particularly Jess Hurd also came from her.
Oh, wow.
Ex-GB International Jess Hurd. And Katie then wanted to play basketball and ended up having the opportunity to play, I believe, at the Leicester Warriors initially, after coming to some Riders community sessions, ended up playing for the Leicester Warriors girls team, and then moved on to Derby Trailblazers, where she developed fantastically and also played a pivotal part of their National League team, and now is at Charnwood College, and now representing at Division 1. Quite a great story in terms of how the British performance pathway, and specifically the performance pathway here in the East Midlands, has helped to develop players, and a lot of stories like that in today's game.
Yeah, absolutely. She's also had the opportunity to play with us a couple times in the WNBL, and she's in practice with us every day. And I think it's only taking her game from strength to strength as she learns to play with more physicality, a greater speed. I really think that she has a great future ahead of her.
0-3 the score, 7:45 left on the clock. Here's Ainge, quick turn onto the left hand, goes up strong. A fight for the rebound, aggressive from Stone, rolls in and out of the ring and rebounded by Marquez.
With 25 rebounds last weekend, that's something you're going to expect from Stone all game. Relentless effort on the boards.
Marquez pulls up from the elbow, rebounded inside, up for two by Williams, and a foul is called. Foul is called the number 8, Bautista. That's her first personal. And both teams have had the opportunity to put points on the board here, just falling a little short at this moment in time. Ainge, really smooth handle but stripped away by Marquez. Wolves push forward. Corner. Back to basket, Williams off the glass, and a foul is called. Foul called on Stone.
I think I'd like to see a little bit more intensity from Loughborough. It's very easy right now for Worcester to move the ball around exactly how they want to and find offensive advantage.
And I completely agree with you there. 2 feet in the paint, Williams, twice she's caught the ball with both feet in the paint, in a position where she can score, and not really contested. Unable to get the first to go. Ainge, bounce pass to Stone, somehow gets it, kicks it out. 3 ball, rebounded by Janaszewska. Up top now with Ainge. Strong drive onto the left hand once again, Ainge, and she does get it to go this time. She's been threatening with her left hand drive all game, and now finally is dropping for her. And Loughborough draw their first blood in this game. Bautista.
Good defense there by Erin.
Got a hand to it. Ball is side, Stone, transition. Inside hand finish for 2.
I think that's something that Loughborough can do a little bit more of, running the floor, finding people open in transition, looking to break away.
And here they are once again, putting the defensive pressure on, trapping at the top. Handed off. Brown kicks it out. Onto the left hand. Tipped away by Janaszewska. Now Loughborough pushing forward. Here's Bird. Stone, and a foul is called.
No doubt Worcester will have to look to make a defensive adjustment after those 2 transition looks for the Riders.
Foul is called on number 10, Estella Maloney Danvers. And substitution for the Riders, checking into the game, number 4, Sasha Lycea?
Lacure.
Wow.
I hope.
That's team knowledge, that is. I'm glad. I'm glad you've been able to be here to correct me on that.
Just translate, that's my purpose.
Yeah. And Stone goes 2 for 2. Substitution checking into the game now for Loughborough, replacing Stone. Number 12, Alex Shaw. As the Wolves come back on the attack, handoff at the top of the 3-point line. Strong drive to the basket for Brown. And a foul is called. Bautista.
That's a great effort from her to stay on the offensive boards. Definitely had 2 Riders players in the paint there, but no box out. Easy rebound and a second opportunity.
Chance for her to convert on the free throw line now. 6-3 to score, 5:24. A fast-paced game, but a low-scoring game so far.
I think both teams have had plenty of opportunities. I just think the times that we're in at the moment, sometimes it takes a few minutes to settle into the game. We haven't played games for a long time, so still that fresh edge is something that we have to overcome. Something that we even saw in our game today.
And there she goes, knocking that down. Of course, during these unprecedented times, it has been important for teams to learn how to adjust, both mentally, physically, and it's not easy. And as I'm sure you'll share with us as a professional, it's imperative to do that for your success on and off the court.
Absolutely. I think the biggest advantage is to stay present, to be in the moment, whether that be in practice or in games. Take advantage and be grateful for the opportunity that you have, because like you said, we're in unprecedented times. At any point, we could be forced into isolation. The rules could change in the league in general. So I think just being grateful and staying present. And that was a great attack there by KJ. That's something I would love to see more from her. A little bit more aggressive.
Substitution checking into the game for the Worcester Wolves. Marquez and Turner check into the game. I think it also, for a younger player, it's also the mindset, when you're playing against older players, it's a big opportunity, it's a bigger stage, etc. But the confidence, which she doesn't, fall short of on the basketball court, is really going to help her to be able to put her team in good situations.
Absolutely.
Back to basket here. And a foul is called. No basket.
The same referee called me for the same call today earlier. I feel a little bit triggered by that call.
Okay.
No, obviously when the ball goes into the post, you can only have a single bar arm, so that's a great call.
And now, what's the baseline? Nice easy cut there for Marquez to get the ball. Gets an offensive rebound, throws the ball up, and she'll get it to go. Circus shot off the left. The basket is good. I think the foul was called on Bird there. Just a little bit of disorganization. And now Marquez on the line for a chance at a 3-point play. And she gets it to go. Substitution for the Riders checking in, Dabbs. Lauren Dabbs will check into the game. Erin Hyken will take a break. Captain for the Loughborough Riders this season. Here's Bird. Caught in the trap. Stripped away, and a foul has been called.
There's 2 problems there. That's great defense, first of all, by the Wolves, recognizing the trap. Unfortunately, I think they've been called for a foul.
They've been called for a foul.
Got to keep your hands out when you're trapping.
Foul was called on number 6, Jessica Rowlands. Referee saw a hold on the arm. And so now 2 shots. Both teams in team foul trouble.
Very early on.
But I do think that's testament to the pace of the game.
Absolutely. Bird's also someone else that can knock down the three. She's a very consistent shooter, so that's something they'll have to be aware of in the game.
And a very important part, of course, of the Charnwood College Academy program as well. Here's Williams now, back to basket once again. Blocked this time. Rejected by Shaw. Here's Bird. Hesitation dribble. She goes right onto the right-hand side. Rebounded by Shaw on the opposite end. End to end. Alex Shaw, the block, the offensive rebound, and the finish. And here come Loughborough now, once again in transition, off the steal, onto the left hand for 2 points. Lauren Dabbs.
I think this is where Riders look their best. When they're up, they're playing hard defensively, they're looking to push the ball.
Picking some pockets, making some plays. A big three now off the glass. And in for two, Maloney Danvers for the Worcester Wolves. LeCure. Inside pass, nice. Alex Shaw reverse layup. Almost gets it to go, gets her own rebound. LeCure still there. Bird. Off the dribble. Kicks it out. 3 ball. And another fight for the rebound and out of bounds. And eventually it will be a Loughborough Riders ball on the baseline. Aggressive under that basket at this moment in time. And you all know the battlefield that the paint can be.
Absolutely.
And substitution for the Wolves checking into the game.
I think both teams are doing a fantastic job right now of staying on the offensive glass, but conversely, they need to do a better job of boxing out and really securing that defensive rebound.
Sure. Pump fakes, drives, dishes it out. Janaszewska. Step through. Right hand, smart move from Katie Janaszewska. 16-10 the score. Bounce pass inside. Kicked away by Bird. Smart defensive play. Substitution checking into the game. Angel check in. And Bird will take a break. The ball put into play. Marquez looks inside. Knocked away. Marquez comes back up with it. Short two. Rebounded by Ainge now for the Riders. But here's the pressure once again from Marquez. Relentless. Never gave up on the play. The foul is called. 2 shots to come. And the foul is called on LeCure.
She hangs around just enough to get a deflection and create something more for her team. That's what you want in any defender.
And a chance now to edge a little closer to the Riders. Riders currently out-rebounding the Wolves by 13 rebounds to 6. And that's big on the offensive end. 5 offensive boards so far for the Riders. And those second chance opportunities paying off. But here, also paying off in transition. That was a great Euro step. Slipped away from the basket, but still didn't give up on the play there. Trailing now is the Wolves. And blocked by Ainge at the end of the floor. Knocks that one away. Great defensive transition there from the Riders. And substitution now checking into the game. Molly James replaces Janaszewska. Another up-and-coming young British talent, Molly James. And the Wolves now back in possession. Up for 2 points, Shanice Turner.
That was great position from her. I think she can definitely get going inside a little bit more, especially if they have a switch.
Pivotal part of this Worcester Wolves team this year so far, Turner. 3 ball straight into the game for Molly James and rebounded now. Brownell comes up for the rebound for the Wolves. High double teamed up there. Marquez will get her hands to it. Wolves now offensive transition, smart ball move, but blocked almost by the end of the floor. LeCure chases it down. The foul has been called on the arm. 2 shots to come. Foul or no foul? Look, ball from here, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I like to reward the defense in that situation, but I know referees will give the offense the benefit of the doubt a lot of the time. But that was good composure by the Wolves to break the press. We trapped early. They moved the ball around. they made that extra drop pass for an easy look.
Now back on the free throw line, as we've been on the free throw line a lot here in this first quarter. Both teams so far 16 trips to the free throw line. And unable to convert the free throws here for the Wolves. James slips. Out of bounds called.
Tough call.
It's one of those calls as a player where it's just like, it's not even part of the game, no one's deflected, you've just slipped.
Yeah.
Frustrating, but...
We had a game, I think, last week where someone got called for out of bounds because their ponytail was across the line, so it all counts.
Ball into play here for the Wolves. Nice hands from Ainge, but she reaching a little bit too much. Foul called on Ainge. Another 2 shot for the Wolves. That's her first personal.
I think they've really got to look to try and convert some of these foul shots and close down that little margin.
Loughborough have 17 fouls in this first quarter.
I think a lot of it starts with defensive positioning and how you pick your player up and whether you're active. Because quite often if you're late, that's when you pick up fouls. Good.
Good transition from the Riders, slips away from Shaw at the end. Baseline ball now for the Worcester Wolves. Substitution for them, also checking into the game. Number 9, Imogen Nude. As number 16, Nuri Seidaga limps towards the bench. Here's Brownell. Uses the screen.
That's a great defensive intensity between Dabs and Hyken there, looking to switch.
Marquez finds the tight corner.
Slips through.
Bobbles off the side of the ring and in for 2 points for the Wolves, and they'll tie the game up. 1:43 left on the clock. And a steal now for Marquez. She had 5 steals in her last game, so we're to be expecting this. Another offensive rebound. Can't get the shot to go, but a chance now for the Wolves to reset. Big 3. Bounces off the side of the ring. Rebounded. James, and gets the ball towards half court, and they get it over. Splits the defenders. Hyken onto her left hand. And a strong stand from Brownell forces the miss. And a double dribble, unfortunately, turns the ball over. Worcester Wolves really disrupting play. Aggressive defense. Lots of pressure. Never letting you have a moment on the ball.
Definitely. The full court press is definitely something that's challenging the Riders at the moment. They're struggling to get the ball ahead early and break the pressure.
So it's a timeout called here. They want to talk it over. I believe the Riders called the timeout. Some stats for you going into that timeout. 6 points for Carolina Marquez. She's also got 4 rebounds, 2 assists and 2 steals. 4 points for Bautista and 3 points for Maloney Danvers. For the Worcester Wolves, and for the Riders, pretty split scoring. Janaszewska 4 points, Ainge and Bird chipping in with a couple. McConnell Stone with 4 points and 2 points apiece for Dab and Shaw. That's the scores on the doors at this moment in time of stats. So 1 minute 10 left to go, all tied up, going into the first quarter break. Obviously you want to come out with an advantage. What are you telling your team in this situation?
I think if I'm Riders in this situation, they've got to get their head up in the offensive, looking to break the press, looking to have someone flashing towards the middle and break the press early, because Worcester are doing a great job of pressing the guards. So we need that release pass and get some of the bigs running and look for layups. And then if I'm Worcester, I think that they've got to keep that defensive intensity. They're playing in spots at the moment, but if they can show that same defensive intensity consistently for an entire quarter, they'll make it really tough for the Riders.
Christina Gaskin joining us live, fresh from her own WBBL game, East Midlands Clash. Riders taking on the Nottingham Wildcats and coming out winners. But now joining me here straight after for some WNBL action, supporting some of her teammates in action today. And it's great to have your company as a 3 goes up from James, rebounded by Stone.
That's a huge rebound from Stone.
She leapt towards the ball and picked that one out of the sky. And now we can tell that she's checked back into the game.
She's got tremendous athleticism. Just in Power Base this previous week where we do our strength and conditioning, we tested our vertical jumps, and she was heads and shoulders above the rest of us, myself included, obviously. Wow. But I think even the S&C coach was kind of surprised. She was getting similar scores to some of the guys on the NBL program, so that just says a lot about her as an athlete.
Incredible analysis there from Christina Gaskin. Makana Stone, she's in the weight room. She's putting in the work, and we're seeing it come to fruition in most of her performances so far. So, Wolves back in possession here. Up top, Marquez. Marquez calls for the screen. There's the roll. A nice play to the basket. Naomi Turner was open, didn't decide to dish it. But now the Riders back in possession. Here's James onto her left hand. Skips it across. Ainge. Back to James. Stripped away.
That's good hustle there by Hiking, but I think it'll be a Wolves ball.
Imogen Yu diving on the ball. And one of the many displays of hustle plays, or examples of hustle plays that we've seen in this game so far. Early on, 17-16, just under 20 seconds to go. Brownell hands it off to Marquez. Marquez turns, blocked. Oh! A foul is called. Foul called at number 12. Sure. Ainge took a ferocious swat at that and looked her in the eyes, but a teammate unfortunately made contact. Marquez going to the line. And that's the Riders' 8th personal foul.
I think it comes down to composure. When you're coming across and you're looking to help, make them make the difficult shot over you rather than...
Oh, and another interception from Marquez. Relentless defense here from the Wolves. Pushing the ball forward, clock winding down, fires it up to be the buzzer. Bounces off the back of the ring. And what a defensive display from the Wolves. The Riders picking apart their defense just halfway through the quarter to get a 4 or 5 point lead, and then the Wolves displaying some incredible defense, incredible heart, incredible determination to draw themselves level coming into the first quarter. So, Christina, your thoughts on the Worcester Wolves defense?
I think they're definitely a defensively orientated team, or at least they look that way at the moment. They look to get up and pressure and have deflections, and they've got great efforts by Marquez in particular, looking to hang around, make it difficult for the guards. And I think that's something that Riders are still going to have to look to overcome and find some offensive composure.
Makana Stone, 5 points, 5 rebounds early on in this one. She's only played 4 minutes 40, believe it or not, as well. Are we going to see a lot more of her coming throughout this game?
I would like to think so, and I also think that they can look to utilize her a little bit more. I would say that the Wolves are a little bit undersized at times, and so if we can get her involved in some ball screen actions, looking to roll, execute the switch, an easy bucket inside, and if she doesn't, I'm pretty certain she'll pull down her own offensive rebound. So,
and for the Worcester Wolves, leading their stat line, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, filling up the stat sheet, and she actually doesn't have any fouls so far. Carolina Marquez really having an impact early on in here. Earlier on in this season, the Worcester Wolves played against the Bristol Flyers, and Marquez came up top trumps in that game with 21 points against Bristol. She also had 12 points, 5 steals against Barking Abbey in their last game.
And you can tell why. She plays with a lot of heart. She's very tenacious, and like you said before, I think the perfect word for her is relentless. She hangs around and she gives it her all while she's on the floor.
Teams making their way back onto the floor. The Riders will get this second quarter underway. All square at this moment in time, 17 apiece, and Robin Ainge commands the offense for the Riders. James turns the corner. Dribbles a little into trouble. And both players get their hand on the ball as a possession arrow pointing in the way of the Wolves.
Again, that's a great demonstration of the Wolves' defensive intensity. As soon as someone gets into the paint, they're looking to clog the paint. So the guards have to be aware of that and pick the ball up earlier.
Bautista. Now back with Brown, or back to Turner. Back into the corner. Baseline three. Bounces off of the wire.
That's unfortunate.
And then drops in for three. Unfortunately, that won't count. That's among, I guess, a basketball pet hate situations. The wire. Here come the Riders now. Dabs. Stone calling for the ball. James ends up with it. Here's Dabs now. Crosses over onto her left hand. Beautiful crossover. Kicks to the corner. Nice pass fake and drive for Bird. And Stone flies in and just knocks it out of bounds. Bautista to inbound for the Wolves. The diamond press from the Riders. Bautista, a nice pass fake again and steps inside, 2 points from the elbow.
Beautiful pull up from her.
The defender was nowhere to be seen after the pass fake.
And again, they're turning offense into defense, getting deflections, making it difficult for our guards to get it over the halfway line.
The Worcester Wolves really putting on the pressure for the Riders early on here in the second quarter. Inside, Stone, back to basket. I feel like that was blocked away. Layla Hall might have got her hands on it. Brownell drives baseline.
Need a cutter here.
A travel violation called.
It's one of those ones where in an unfortunate situation you feel like you've got no outlet, you need a back cut. Put some pressure on the defense. And an easy two.
And Bird gets the ball into play to Ainge. I love this. Both teams full court pressure all game. Full court pressure all
Rather
game.
them than me.
Bird. Bird now.
Good composure there by Bird.
Good footwork also. Kicks it out to Ainge for three. That opportunity created by Bird.
And that's what they need. They need a little bit more composure. Get into the paint, stop on 2 feet, find where the helps come from, pass it out, and then take the advantage from there. They don't need to be in a hurry.
Sideline ball now for the Wolves. Brown hands it off to Bautista. Dribbles hard onto her right. Throws it up. Rebounded by Hall. Hall up for two.
She definitely thought about it for a second. It took her teammates to tell her, put the ball in the basket.
Oh yeah, I got the ball. She gets it to go though. Here's Dabs on the opposite side of the floor. Bounces off the top of the backboard. Stone with an offensive rebound and the foul is called. That athleticism coming into play. And 2 shots to come for Stone. 20-21. 7:29 left to go here in the first half.
It's been a very close game throughout so far. There's no one team has really had an opportunity to go on a big scoring run. Definitely makes things interesting.
Stone. 2 for 2 from the line at that time. Puts the Riders up by 1. Substitution checking into the game. Marquez replacing number 16, Sayadaga. And the Worcester Wolves now back into possession. To be fair, we haven't seen much half-court basketball.
No, we have not.
in this game to be able to talk about both teams' half-court offense here. Nice drive from Marquez, kicks it out to Brown and the foul is called. Foul called on number 7, Ainge, for a block. That's her second personal. Now Brown will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. So if you've just joined us, welcome to today's WNBL game. The Loughborough Riders taking on the Worcester Wolves. Myself, Tahir Hadra, alongside Christina Gaskin, bringing you this one. 22-21, 7 minutes 13 gone here in the second quarter. Rebound for Makana Stone. An exciting game so far. End-to-end action.
I know what coach will be saying to her in that situation, because I've had the same comment to me. Keep the ball. If she's not gotten a better advantage than you, get into the paint and then look to find her.
Substitution for the Riders. Janishevska checks into the game. Here's Brownell. Pulls the ball to the left-hand side of the floor. Rising up through the elevated screen, Bautista. Screen from Marquez. Gets it out to Marquez. Marquez for 3. And a big rebound now for Lauren Dabbs. Janishevska pushes the ball across. Here's James. Stone, if you look inside under the basket, she does not stop moving. She is constantly keeping a defender under pressure. Beautiful move there from Dabbs. Couldn't get it to go. Janishevska comes up with the offensive rebound. Stone skips it out. Dabbs. Rebounded by Stone. James. One-handed wrap-around pass into Stone. Bounces off the back of the ring, and the Riders couldn't buy a bucket in that play.
I must commend Turner there for her defensive effort, though. Like you said, Stone was consistently moving around the paint, trying to find position, and Turner made it difficult for her.
James, almost. Brownell does pick the ball up just before she goes back court. And substitution now for the Worcester Wolves, checking into the game, number 10, Maloney Danvers. Shanice Turner takes a break, and Makana Stone will also head to the bench. Shaw will check back into the game. Bird. Blocked at the ring by Hall.
That was a great block by her.
Brownell kicks it out. Maloney Danvers. Bounce pass across to Marquez. And a foul is called.
I think that's a case of experience. KJ went into it to reach for the ball, and Marquez recognized, dropped her shoulder a little on, and got the call for the foul.
Only 10 seconds on the shot clock in that play. You want to slow the game right down and try and use that shot clock now to force them to take a rush shot. As the Wolves get the ball back into play. Handoff at the top. Then the screen from Hall. Marquez, ball fake. Finishes at the ring with the right hand off the glass for 2 for the Wolves.
That's a tough finish for her.
Oh, James behind the back. Source kicks it out. Bird. Oh, caught in a trap, and once again the Worcester Wolves getting their hands on the ball. Maloney Danvers rips that one away and kind of gives her the stare down.
I like that. That's healthy competition.
No, I like that too. I like that too. I'm here for it. Janishevska now on the baseline, up top. Shaw, blocked in the ring by Hall once again. Hall having a great impact. Marquez for 2, transition. Worcester Wolves going through a beautiful spell of basketball right now. Here's James. Bird. Janishevska in the corner, off the right hand, bounces off the front of the ring. Shaw tips it. Janishevska touches it last. An end-line ball now for the Worcester Wolves. Exciting burst of play, 4:43 left to go. 3-point lead for the Worcester Wolves, 22-25. Both teams trading buckets all game. All game. Here's Brownell, looks inside, turned over. Bautista couldn't quite catch it. Janishevska long pass ahead, slips away. Maloney Danvers gets her hands to it. 2 quick turnovers in quick concession. And the 3 ball in the corner over the opposite side. That would have been great for Worcester.
We've got to be careful with these long passes in transition now.
Dabs. Kicks it out. Januszewska for 3. And the pace of the game has just shot right up. And another almost deflection interception. Marquez now for 3, and that bounces off the back of the ring, hits the wire, means it will go the other way. And a flurry of basketball there.
Such a fast-paced game. I finally find really any space to talk.
Yeah, I can't really find a way to describe what I've just seen. No, very rushed basketball at times. Long passes, risky passes. Both teams almost caught in their own world in terms of trying to score so quickly.
Yeah.
There's 4 minutes, or just under 4 minutes left to go here.
I think Wolves are doing a great job of dictating the defensive intensity right now, which is speeding the Riders up and forcing them into shots that they perhaps don't want to take.
Here's Ainge now, kicks it out Shaw. Shaw drives to the left hand. Gets her own rebound, Shaw for 2. Another chance, Shaw. And now finally cleared up. Naomi Turner with the rebound. Bautista kicks it inside. Hall onto the left hand, couldn't get it to go. Screams in frustration. Lecure, right hand, gets direct to the basket, but bobbles over the side of the ring.
There might be some cling film on both of the rims at the moment. Can't seem to buy a bucket.
Bautista. And Januszewska ends up with possession. Once again, both teams. Ainge firing up the 3. The ball bouncing around like a pinball. And Hyken has the ball on the floor, both hands on it. Arrow ball. And it's a Worcester Wolves possession. And a timeout called by the Worcester Wolves. 2 minutes 40 to go. Sorry, 2 minutes 42 to go. 22-25. Christina, a whirlwind of a game right now.
It's been a bit of a flurry of basketball, to put it at least. But I think the Wolves have done a great job of stepping up their defensive intensity. That's sort of frazzled the Riders a little bit, and they'll look to find some composure. I think that it's the recognition of understanding when you need to push it in transition, when it's a good opportunity to push it ahead and look for an early basket or an early 3, and when perhaps maybe you need to pull it back and set something up and try and execute and find offensive advantage that way. And I think for the Wolves, I think that they've had some great looks. They've had a good, breakaway transition opportunities, but equally, I think they could look to try and execute and find some advantage in offense.
Turnovers, 13 turnovers for the Riders in the first, almost at the end of this first half, 2 minutes 42 left to go, and 8 turnovers for the Worcester Wolves. A grand total of 21 turnovers in total.
I think that's sort of to be expected when you play a high-paced game, that the rate of turnovers is definitely going to go up, but that's also something that's in your control as a team. And, as a guard, recognizing that, okay, we've just turned the ball over 2 or 3 times in a row, perhaps it's time to pull it back and run something. And that's something that you'll see from Hyken and Ainge, no doubt, as they step back on the floor.
Loughborough Riders currently shooting 18% from the field. 29% from the Worcester Wolves. Not neither team shooting the ball or scoring particularly great at this moment in time. Here's Bautista.
The Riders have looked to go to a zone here. Change things up a little bit for the Wolves, see how they adjust.
Ball rotation. Bautista back with it at the top. Turner for 3!
She called for it, she was ready, and she received it.
Patience,
I like the confidence.
The patience on the zone offense, and once again, here's the defense from the Worcester Wolves. A quick interception. Turner, baseline. Rowlands was screaming for it. Since she forced the turnover, she was open and she was calling for the ball back. Couldn't quite get it. Here's Ainge onto the left-hand side. Finishes with her right hand, almost rolls out of the other side of the ring and out of bounds.
You can see that she's frustrated with herself a little bit at the moment. Probably hoping to put a few more of those layups away, and I'm sure she will.
Bautista calling the commands. Here's Turner. Baseline 3.
She was wide open, uncontested. I'm not sure whether that's a tactical decision or a mistaken defensive rotation, but great shot by her.
Imogen Yude for 3. And now this game is open to 8 points and almost another steal now. Januszewska gets it back for the Riders. Long 2 and stops the bleeding. 24-30. Bautista. Another corner 3, and it's good! Lights out!
That's not something you expect when you play a 2-3 zone. You expect to be able to bring the big out of the back because you've got that extra defender. But again, Wolves turning offense into defense.
Rowlands, corner 3, money, comes down with the steal, timeout called. The zone clearly not working in this situation, and the Riders have got to adjust to that very quickly.
Absolutely. I think that it perhaps wasn't a bad decision to go to a zone. I'm just not sure that they're running the rotations how Coach Quintero would have expected.
The Worcester Wolves being patient on offense, moving the ball well, also then finding the open shooter and making it count as they are in the lead 24-33 at this moment in time. 11 points for Marquez, 6 points for Bautista. And for the Riders, 6 points for Janaszewska and 7 points for Stone. Well, coming up to this halftime break, this WNBL fixture, and it's been a fast-paced game, lots of excitement. Make sure you tell your friends and family to join in via the stream. Myself, Ty Hadja, and Christina Gaskin here with you enjoying this game today. The great energy coming out onto the floor for the Worcester Wolves.
That's something that you love to see, isn't it? That the players stepping on the floor, dictating from each of them to take accountability, take responsibility, and really sort of close this margin going into the half. Extend this margin, so they're ahead. 9 points.
1 minute, 1 second left to go. And the Loughborough Riders have possession. Hiking. Ainge. Screen from Shaw. Janaszewska right-hand side. The double tap crossover, strong to the rack. Rebound for her, and one. Katie Janaszewska. Beautiful move off the wing, double tap crossover, steps inside. Couldn't get the first finish, offensive board. Finishes, draws the contact, gets it to go, heads to the free throw line, Christina.
And that's exactly what I've been waiting to see from her. She's got great length and versatility as a guard. So when she can put the ball on the floor and get to the rim, she just needs that mindset, that switch of her mindset to realize and recognize that she can compete and play at this level.
Bautista. Now with Turner, deep 3.
That'll hurt.
And a big rebound there for Janaszewska. Pushes the ball forward to Ainge. Ainge, 3v2 situation, goes herself for 2. And the Riders back within 5. Bautista. On the elbow with Williams. Williams back to basket. Rowlands. Yude. Bautista. Clock winding down. And that's the end of the first half, 28-33. A lovely little spell there for the Riders at the end to keep them within a respectable distance going into the second half. It's been a great first half of basketball, Christina.
Indeed. There's a lot of great things to report. I think for the Wolves, Marquez has done a fantastic job for them. They've also had, great opportunities to knock down the 3, and they have, and that's definitely afforded them the margin that they have now. And then conversely for the Riders, you're looking at Ainge looking to break away a little bit now and find her rhythm offensively. Like to see a little bit more from Stone inside. I think that she could have some dominance on this game. So we'll see what they come back with after the half.
So 10 steals so far for the Worcester Wolves in this first half. It's a great example of the relentless defense that they're putting into practice this moment in time. 14 turnovers for the Riders. That's what really has given the Wolves the edge in this game. What, as a professional player yourself, defense is always preached to be the single most important thing to you. In a successful team, what are the characteristics of defense that we're seeing the Wolves put into place right now?
I think a lot of coaches will say the same thing when it comes to defense. It's effort. Offense is a little bit more tactical. You have to make certain decisions and you have to adjust to what the defense shows you. But defense, a lot of the time, it's just are you willing to get down and put the work in? Are you willing to rotate and help your teammate if they, are showing a certain level of intensity? And a lot of it comes down to also communicating well, and I think that's something that we've seen from the Wolves from the jump. Quite honestly, they've communicated, they've rotated defensively, they've made it really difficult anytime the Riders have tried to get into the paint. They've had a hand or a deflection on the play. So, and you can tell when a team has been coached to have a defensive culture or a defensive mindset, and I think that's really obvious with the Wolves, and it's working for them.
Not only, have they put that defensive pressure on, obviously the Riders have to, they've not had any great offensive spells. They've had great offensive spells, but only 23% from the line, 9 for 38 at this moment in the game. And had that gone the other way, obviously this game might be completely different, and their shooting percentages hopefully come back up. Now, as a player yourself, once again, what is it you're thinking at halftime about how to improve your confidence when scoring the ball, etc.?
I think it comes down to shot selection. If you're taking the right shot, you're taking a shot that you practice and that's good for you and that your coach would be happy with, then you can't be disappointed in the outcome. I mean, you can only control the process, and I think that's what's lovely about defense, is that you can play hard and you don't have to necessarily worry about the outcome. It comes down to effort. But offense, you take the right shots, and sometimes they go in and sometimes they don't. And, as long as they're good shots for you and for the team, then that's all you can sort of analyze.
So a fantastic first half of action here with myself, Tahir Hajat, and Christina Gaskin. 28-33. We're going to take a break as we get ready to report to you the second half of the Loughborough Riders taking on the Worcester Wolves WNBL here at Loughborough University. A very warm welcome back to Loughborough University for today's WNBL Division 1 fixture. The Loughborough Riders taking on the Worcester Wolves, 28-33 the score. My name is Tahir Hadja and I'm alongside Leicester Riders WBBL player Christina Gaskin in the house. And how are you doing, Christina, after that first half?
I mean, it was an exciting first half. There's a lot of action, a lot of fast-paced basketball, which is fun to watch, but I think sometimes there's opportunities that you have to slow it down and execute and look for a score. And I'm sure both coaches right now will be looking to offense, looking to work out how they can find advantage in that area.
And it has been a very fast-paced game overall, exciting game overall to be involved with as we count down to that 15-minute half-time buzzer. And we've seen some great individual displays as well, namely Carolina Marquez with 11 points, 5 rebounds and 3 steals. She's been standout for the Worcester Wolves, but an all-round team display from the Riders, keeping them within this one with 8 points from Janaszewska and 7 points apiece from Stone and Ainge. The starting fives are coming back out onto the floor, starting for the Wolves. We've got Brownell, Marquez, Bautista, and I believe we also have Turner and Sayadaga on the floor also.
And something that both the teams still have to adjust to, sanitizing your hands every time you come in and out of the game.
How did you get along with that in today's game?
I feel like it's situated as a habit now for us, but for the first couple of games it was definitely a run out, run back, sanitize, come back in again. As you forget.
It's the new habit.
It's the new normal.
Yeah.
And luckily that's quite a nice sanitizer. It's not a horrible smelling one, so we can deal with it.
Here's Stone at the top of the key. Strong onto the right hand, into the corner, 3 ball. Rattles around. Stone once again amongst the rebounds. Bird. Trapped by Brownell. Fade away. And a rebound now for the Worcester Wolves. Here's Brownell. Marquez. Picked away by Dabbs.
Good hands there by Dabbs, the recognition.
Once again, this game started off with the same pace as it did in the first. They've both just gone straight at each other, full court pressure. Here's
Wolves
the trapping
aren't looking to take a step down defensively at all, are they?
Of course, no. They want to keep that disruption up. And a turnover for the Riders now. The Wolves end up with possession. Strong drive, right hand from Brownell for 2.
She's got great length at the guard spot as well. The ability to finish with the scoop up and under.
Aikin to the corner. Janaszewska, corner 3. She'll knock that one down for the Riders. Janaszewska from behind the arc. And now, Brownell once again. Pass up. Oh, nice body fake. And a strong drive as the foul is called. Nuri Sayadaga. She sold a defender. She sold him the whole world. And she'll head to the free throw line with a chance at 2 shots.
And again, I think that's what's really nice to watch with the Wolves is that any of their players on the court right now can put the ball on the floor and find advantage, look to draw the help or finish themselves. And that's a great attribute to have as a team. Makes it really difficult defensively.
See a dagger. Headline ball stays with the Wolves. Quintero trying to contest that with the official. Coaches and officials' relationships made even harder with a mask these days.
You know it's serious when the coach has got to pull their mask down to make their point.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't be pulling down their mask.
They should not. They should not. At a safe distance.
Of course. Well, the frustration does get the better of you, so I can understand if you make a mistake. And here's Bird on the left-hand side. Gets across the defender, dabs into the corner. Janaszewska, another 3, bounces off the back of the ring, rebounded by Brownell. Wolves out in transition once again. Bautista looks a beautiful pass inside, but stripped away by Stone. Stone bursting up the floor. Strong, pump fake, finish, smart. Lovely play there from Makana Stone.
She's looking to draw more energy out of her team right now. showing by example.
Marquez hands it off. And that handoff screen action is quite common to Worcester's offense throughout the game. A jump ball called, and this time the Wolves will get it. Substitution for them, number 10. Maloney Danvers checks into the game. Don't forget to let us know your thoughts on today's game in the YouTube comments or get involved on social media at NBL England. Oh, and here is Sarah.
Great pass fake.
Say a dagger, body fake, ball fake, bucket. She makes it count this time. Hiking. One-on-one with Marquez on that left-hand side, picks the ball up. Lakana Stone battling for position. But as you mentioned earlier in the game, Turner, she's not giving nothing easy.
Absolutely not.
Janaszewska spins away. Janaszewska, beautiful finish at the ring. Smart play.
She's really coming alive during this game, and it's something that I've been wanting to see the last few games.
Sayadaga unable to finish this time. Maloney Danvers. Bautista back to the corner. Inside look. Sayadaga bounce pass. Marquez on the baseline. Smart play.
Great finish. And that's what you need when you catch the ball in the post and you're struggling, looking for options. A quick back cut. Simple solution.
Janaszewska in again. The corner three. Janaszewska lights out. She's keeping Loughborough around. Bautista. Marquez. Much better basketball here. Much more better quality basketball here in the beginning of this second half. Here's Marquez. Turner keeps it in play. Pulls up. Long two. Gets it to go to beat the shot clock buzzer. The Worcester Wolves and Turner for 2 points. Nice hands from Marquez. Almost gets herself another steal. Janaszewska skips it across Dabbs on the right-hand side. Dabbs, she drives. Inside hand scoop with the left. And out of bounds call.
Would have been nice if she made that one.
That would have been
possible highlight.
Very nice. Definite highlight. Substitution checking into the game. Molly James replaces number 9, Hannah Bird. So as I was mentioning before we had all this amazing action, let us know your thoughts in the YouTube comments. Get some interactions going. If you have any questions for Christina as well, let us know. Damn strong onto the left hand for 2. Big shout out to Ollie Parr in the comments. Hope you're enjoying today's game.
Ollie Parr used to coach the Loughborough Riders last season, so he'll be familiar with some of the players on the floor right now.
Bautista. 3-ball. Maloney Danvers unable to get it going. A foul is called. Marquez nods at the referee, acknowledging the push in the back. 38-42, 6 minutes 4 left to go here in the third. Substitution for the Worcester Wolves.
Both teams are looking to execute a little bit more now. Aren't looking to push the ball as much in transition. I think it's a good look for both of them.
Foul is called.
Again, Turner playing aggressive defense on the post there, making it difficult for Stone. Something they've undoubtedly talked about in their scouting report after her last performance last weekend.
Dabbs for 3. Off the glass and in for 2. We've had 2 bank threes from that specific point today. I think if I found myself on this court, I know I'd be shooting from. Brownell. Yeah, travel violation called. Great idea, but one step too many. Substitution checking into the game. Number 13, Shauna Williams. And Bautista.
Looks like Coach Quintero is calling the offense from the sideline at the moment, really looking to execute and find something for the Riders offensively.
Ainge. The elevator screen for James. Janaszewska, mid-range 2. Stone chasing that down, you know she would be, but the Wolves come up with possession. Here's Dabbs now, who's intercepted the pass. Throws it up, And that's out of bounds. Worcester Wolves will get it back. Great hustle and determination. Unfortunately, no end product. Brown. Williams on the elbow. Maloney Danvers pulls up mid-range for 2. Coming up to the halfway point here in the third quarter. 3-point game. James looks inside. Stone kicks it out. Dabbs. Back-to-back 3 for Dabbs.
Riders have definitely improved their 3-point shooting percentage this second half.
And now it's a tied game. Brownell in the corner. Sayadaga skips it across. Maloney Danvers off the screen. Turner backs a player down, but they've opted to skip across and intercepted now by Stone. Stone, no one around her. Stone all alone. Easy money for 2.
I was waiting for the dunk on that one, but I think we need a few more months of
some power
jump
base.
training.
A few more months of power base.
A few more months of power base. Come back next season, we'll see.
Okay. Sayadaga turns the corner. Inside hand. And a foul is called. Would have been a great finish if she got it to go. Now substitutions checking in for the Wolves. Marquez and Rowlands. Oh, apologies. Yude.
Looks like we've got a provisional on the shooter.
Let's say a dagger. Able to convert the first. Rebounded. Williams spins towards the bucket. And the Riders come up with possession. Ainge. Ainge with great speed and finesse. Left-handed finish for 2.
She realized she had the foot speed advantage there and executed well in transition.
Brownell throws it up. A fight for the rebounds on the basket. And Sayadaga pulls that one down. Up strong onto the left. Through the contact. Gets it to go for 2. And she returns to the free throw line with a chance at a 3-point play in substitution now for the Wolves. Imogen Yude checking into the game. Maloney Danvers will take a break. 48-46, 3:46 on the clock.
Wolves have had a great opportunity at offensively rebounding the ball this game, and it's really given them second possessions and another offensive rebound.
Marquez.
Another easy finish.
And another easy finish. Once again, you are correct. Another offensive rebound. Christina Gasking joining us here live in the corner. Janaszewska moves the ball. One extra pass. And unable to get it to go. Yude with the rebound. 3v1 situation. And unfortunately turned over by the Wolves. Had a little bit more time than they expected there.
The idea and the intent is a good one. You just got to execute on that pass.
And the timeout's now been called. Head coach Antonio Quintero wants to talk it over with his team. 48-46, 3 minutes 25 left here in the third quarter, and a much better quarter of basketball in terms of the quality of execution, Christina.
Absolutely. I think there's been, far less turnovers, a lot more composure on both ends. You've seen KJ step up and make some big shots for the Riders, and then equally you've had some second chance opportunities for the Wolves, and it could go either way at this point. There's not been any real breakaway in this game, so keeps things interesting, keep the defense up, keep trying to execute offensively, and it's anyone's game.
Katie Janaszewska, 14.7 rebounds so far in this one, just supporting exactly what you said about her having an impact on the game. She came into the third quarter, really made some big plays for the Loughborough Riders to ensure that they stuck around in this game, and her team bounced off that energy and they started to pull away and get some good looks. But as you mentioned, Worcester Wolves still hanging around. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. Caroline Marquez, we're going to say her name several times through today's game because she is their star player at this moment in time. But also, Sayadaga having an impact towards coming into this timeout for the Wolves, making some big plays to get to the line and have an impact.
Yeah, she definitely plays with a high level of intensity. She's a very aggressive player, which is something you you love to be a part of when you have a teammate like that.
So, as we mentioned earlier on in the game, Ryder's turnovers were through the roof, but now much more under control. Only 2 turnovers so far. James looks for Janaszewska baseline. Deflected out of bounds. Worcester Wolves will get possession back.
Looks like Riders have gone again to a 2-3 zone here.
And let's see if it works out for them. And here's Lecure, almost forcing the turnover. Here's Brownell, she'll pick it back up for the Wolves on the left-hand side. Ball rotation now, high elbow, Williams, body fake, kicks out. Say a dagger gets through the gap. Bounces off the back of the ring, almost beats the buzzer. A fight for the rebound, out of bounds. The Worcester Wolves will get it back. Ainge claps her hands together in frustration. Thought it was a Riders ball.
But again, Wolves getting the shot away on the buzzer, but still hanging around for that offensive rebound, putting themselves in contention for an extra possession.
Williams, travel violation called.
Thought about the Euro step there, couldn't quite execute.
And now Riders have the ball back in their possession. Here's James. James. Ainge on the left-hand side. Skips it across. Janaszewska from the elbow. And a rebound for Marquez. Yude. Inside, Say a dagger once again. Hands it off to Williams this time. Williams fighting for the boards. And another offensive rebound falls into the hands of Yude. She's on the floor.
Not long on the shot clock here.
And inside Yude, and the Riders persevere and end up with the ball in possession. Here's Ainge now trying to dribble out of trouble. Janaszewska skips it across to James on the right-hand side, finds herself in space, bounces off her leg, and out of bounds for a Worcester Wolves possession.
Anytime the Riders get the ball in the paint, there is 2 people jumping on them. Great defensive intensity from the Wolves.
The Wolves really are fighting for every single rebound, and just to add to that, they're checking into the game. Turner, I believe, and Leslie Hall.
Layla
Hall, who had a big impact when she came in the first half. Here's Marquez. 48 apiece under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. This game really starting to come to its most exciting moments. Strong drive from Brownell, Euro step.
Tough finish with the contact there for her.
James pushes the ball forward now. Lecure has the advantage. Hesitation dribble, step back.
That was nice. Great recognition from her. Defense stepped off. Easy jump shot.
And she makes it count. Here's Brownell. Kicks it out corner. Marquez, quick off the dribble, finds room, and the foul is called. Draws the contact from Shaw. And she'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots. 1 minute 16. Tied game 50 apiece. And substitution for the Riders. 4th personal foul for Shaw.
She's found herself in help defense, rotating quite a lot. And I think when you're in that situation as a forward, you've got to recognize when you need to step up and make it a difficult shot, make them, shoot over you, and when you're in a position where you may be able to block the ball. And I think when you're a younger player and growing up and learning the game, it's hard to recognize the difference between those 2 situations. And equally, I got fouled out myself today, so I'm sort of talking to myself in this scenario.
I didn't want to bring it up, but now you bring it up. No, it's never nice to be fouled out of a game along there with the most annoying things as a player that you could ever experience, but it happens. Hykin just dribbles a little bit too much, and that one falls away from her. And the Riders have kept possession here.
I think there was a deflection by Marquez.
Hykin off the glass for 3. Loughborough needed it, and they got it.
There's something about shooting the 3 off the glass today.
Yeah.
The bank is definitely open.
Yes, indeed. Turner blocked at the ring by Ainge, jumps
Huge
up.
block.
2 hands, says no, young lady. Yude off the glass. And now Bird pushes the ball forward. Here's James. James has got room. James onto the right hand for 2. Rolls off the ring and out. Frustrating, but stays with the Riders.
Feels like it's somewhat of a jumping contest with the rebounds at the moment. No one really boxing anyone out, just, you know, who can get a tap on it.
Ainge moves the ball. LeCure with a crossover. Now James. James off the side of the ring. It's not really fell for her today. She still hasn't registered any points, but she's taken good shots. They're just not falling at this moment in time. Brownell finds Hall.
Definite advantage inside here.
And nice hands from Ainge in the mix once again. James. Her own rebound. James again. And through pure willpower, just as I mentioned, she's had no points on the board. Offensive rebound and gets 2 points to go. And that is the end of the third quarter. A brilliant third quarter, Christina.
Yeah, much more composure from both teams. It's much more, it's a little easier to watch than, you know, a fast-paced game with a lot of turnovers. So good adjustment from both of the teams at halftime, obviously, to make that difference.
And now the Riders starting to feel their rhythm a little bit in this game. Big plays, as we mentioned, from Katie Janaszewska, and also big defensive plays from Robin Ainge, really getting her hands in the lanes and also forcing deflections and getting her team that advantage and to push further into this game. 14 points for Janaszewska, 11 points for Makana Stone, 10 points for Lauren Dabbs in this game so far. And Dabbs as a player, what kind of player is she describe her to our audience today?
She's someone that can, you know, definitely knock down the three. I think, you know, when she plays with us, she likes to take that corner three, get out in transition and create space for that. But she's also someone that can get to the basket, put the ball on the floor and make those tough finishes. So, you know, she has that inside-outside threat, which is always great as a guard.
And for the Worcester Wolves, it's now becoming more of a team performance for them. Nearly all of their players have got points on the board. The only player who hasn't is Shauna Williams, and on offense, she is having such a presence. 3 offensive boards for her, and she is due to get some reward off the back of that, hopefully soon for them. But 16 points for Carolina Marquez, 6 rebounds for her. Bautista, 6 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Brownell, 4 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. Every player in this Worcester Wolves team chipping in across the stat lines.
Absolutely, and I think that comes from building a team around a defensive culture and having a selfless mindset, and that's a huge advantage as a team. You know, no one player needs to score the basketball, but they'll do what it takes to you know, defeat the other team and just have enough scoring opportunities to do so.
So if you're just joining us, here we are at Loughborough University, the 4th and final quarter of today's WNBL Division 1 action, 55-51. The Loughborough Riders in the lead against the Worcester Wolves. It's been a highly entertaining game with myself, Tahir Hadjat, and Christina Gaskin. Let us know your thoughts and comments in the YouTube comments, or get involved with us on social media at NBL England. As we get back into this one, and here's Ainge. Spoke about briefly in the break there. Unable to get her layup to go. Here's the Wolves, Brownell. Back with Marquez. Back across, Bautista.
Good box out there from Bird, keeping Brownell off the boards.
And now James finds herself in space, steps across, almost gets the finish to go. Rowlands comes up with possession.
Riders again have gone to a 2-3 zone, looking to change things up a little bit for the Wolves.
Nice hands from Ainge, picks the pocket. Williams, Bautista, Marquez. Nice body fake, stripped away now by LeCure. LeCure, 1-on-1 with Marquez. She takes a swipe.
Tough foul, but if I'm a coach in that situation, you've got to admire the hustle.
Of course.
You know, no easy baskets.
I appreciate that. I would probably have done the same thing.
Yeah, I think I would have been right there with her, going for the block.
Just trying not to get an unsportsmanlike.
Yeah. But again, good breakaway by LeCure. Good deflection on the play.
LeCure on the line for the Loughborough Riders. Big shout out to Coach Crewmesh tuning in all the way from Sweden.
I really miss Krumesh.
Brother Krumesh, as we call him. Krumesh is a good cook as well, for those of you
Honestly.
who was out there. 2-2 butter chicken on many occasions. But no, thank you very much for all your great comments, guys. Let us know, who's your game MVP? Let us know your thoughts, who you think is today's game MVP. And there's plenty to pick from here today. Here's James, opposite end of the floor, just a little too far ahead of her, slaps her hands together in frustration. And the Worcester Wolves will come up with possession. As we come into this final 8.5 minutes or so, Christina, game MVP, are you starting to think about one?
It's tough. You know, the game could go either way at this point, so it's hard to call it, but I think Marquez, as she makes that shot right on cue, for me would be the game MVP for the Wolves, undoubtedly. For the Riders, it's a little more tough to say. I think KJ's played really well and had, you know, really great moments for them. But you've also always got, you know, Ainge looking to lead the team.
I would say Ainge is up there, definitely, if you think about it. That she's made some really tough plays and some stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet as well. She's really set the tone and energy for the Riders throughout this game. Here's Bird. In the corner, James. James drives, floats it high off the right hand, bobbles in for 2 points for James. Marquez. Brownell. Back out, Marquez again for 3. And 3-4 Worcester players in the paint. Brownell, Williams, and stripped away. LeCure pushing forward. James, and a foul is called down in there. And yes, cut you off, Christina, great intensity.
No, I was just going to say that, you know, from Hiking, you know, looking to do what it takes for the team, grabbing that steal, and then James getting ahead early again, looking to convert this time. Couldn't quite catch the last one in transition, so.
Substitution checking into the game. (57-54), 7 minutes 20. James is on the line.
You can tell the Wolves are definitely, you know, tactically well prepared. You know, they're not flustered that much by the zone. They've gone straight into their zone offense. Loughborough looking to pinch and make it difficult, pack the paint.
Nice back to basket work there. Shanice Turner. Long pass ahead from Ainge. Beautiful pass there, almost from James. That almost. I think the only thing she could have done there is made it a tip pass.
Right.
She actually caught the ball, but the idea was, of course, correct. Now checking into the game, McConnor Stone.
I think that was to be expected. You need to bring her back in the game at this point and let her go to work.
9 rebounds so far in this game, 11 points. Flirting with a double-double, but out of bounds call.
Again, anytime Riders put the ball on the floor, you know, and they get anywhere close to the paint, they've got 2 people on them. So we've got to try and find this offensive advantage and where this double team is coming from.
Marquez. Back into the corner. Maloney Danvers up top, Marquez. Skipped across into the corner, left-hand side. Bautista, hesitation. Nice hands from Bird. Maloney Danvers, clock winding down, Marquez. Shot clock violation, tough defense from the Riders. Really getting into the nitty-gritty.
And you can't ask for anything more if you know, if I'm Quintero in that situation. You know, you've rotated well. You can see that they've upped their communication defensively, and they force a tough shot on the buzzer. That's exactly what you want from your defense.
So timeout is called, 58-54, 6 minutes 22 left to go here in the fourth quarter. It's been back and forth all game. Both teams displaying some excellent bursts of basketball. But right now, we're having that MVP discussion, Christina, and some of the fans or the audience getting involved today are letting us know their thoughts at this moment in time. We've got a couple of shouts for Lauren Dabbs in the comments. We also got a shout out for Marquez. We've also got a shout out with the commentary team as MVPs. Well, we take it. We take
you love
it.
to hear it.
Dubs on and off the court. We'll take it. But no, we do want to hear more. Please let us know who your MVP is. We want to know your thoughts on today's game. Get involved in today's WNBL action. The Loughborough Riders taking on the Worcester Wolves, as both teams get ready to come out onto the floor. Overtime? Is it too early to ask that question?
It could very well go into overtime. I think it's a case of right now, you know, which team is able to go on the bigger run for and, you know, uninterrupted run defensively, because we're at that point in the game where it really, you know, like we've spoken about many times, it could go either way.
Definitely speaking too early in regards to overtime. We're 6 minutes 22 on the clock. But the feel of the game, how it's felt all game, is that
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's like a never-ending game.
Yes.
And here goes James, who will get the ball in for the Loughborough Riders. Hykin. Up top, Ainge. Stone with the seal inside. Ainge unable to connect with a teammate. Stone coming from the States to Loughborough University. 3 ball in the corner. Rebounding by Ainge.
That corner 3 is definitely something that's open for the Wolves. And they're looking to exploit it.
Ainge, beautiful bounce pass. Stone on the other end of the floor for 2.
Great recognition there. And Stone hanging around, ready to finish the easy.
Biggest lead of the game for the Riders so far, and a double dribble violation called. Not the kind of turnovers you want in a game like this. Pivotal moments. The Loughborough Riders will have the ball as Baird will get it into play for Hykin. Full pressure still from the Worcester Wolves. Ainge, big screen from Stone. Uses the roll. Stone gets her own rebound for 2.
Do we call that one a pass to herself, or is that a...
packing. That's the official term, Christina.
Yeah.
Don't be nice.
Okay, stat packing. Listen, I'm going to take tips from her because I need some more rebounds.
WNBL, or in fact the NBL Player of the Week, I believe Stone was, after a 25 rebound performance. Hykin hands it off. Baird turns the corner well, scoops it under, draws the contact, and the foul is called.
One thing I've noticed about Baird over the last few games is she utilizes a change of pace really well offensively. She'll freeze just for that half a second in the middle of the paint, just enough to slow the defender down, and it definitely works to her advantage.
The moment of change of pace, I completely agree. As she turned that corner there, she'll draw the contact from Marquez, and 3rd team foul for the Wolves, and no fouls so far for the Loughborough Riders. After having a little issue with their fouls in the first quarter of the game, they've definitely sorted that out. Coach Quintero letting them know.
I think the ball pressure has stepped up a little bit, so they haven't been in that situation where they're forced to help so much.
Skip across. Wolves. Now with Bautista, looks down low. Yude. The ball movement, the zone defense is much better here from the Riders now. Sayadaga has to float it up and make a big shot to get it to go for the Wolves. But the zone defense really is paying off dividends. They're moving well now. And here's Stone at the other end of the floor. And then able to get that to go. The pass wasn't able to get to her.
It's tricky as a guard because when you see your forward running down the floor, I'm sure you want to reward them. I'm sure you want to let the ball go. But sometimes you got to recognize this time in the game, maybe it's better to pull it back and execute, not risk it.
Bautista. Skipped across. Maloney Danvers. Now driving. Brown or Euro step. Bobbles off the side of the ring. Doesn't get it to go. Wolves really needed that one. Slight misfortune for them, but here's Hykin with the Riders. Ainge finds some space. Looks to the free throw line to find Baird. Maloney Danvers almost gets her hands to it now. Baird driving, kicks it out. Ainge Shot clock winding down in the corner to beat the buzzer. Off the front of the ring, and Stone with the offensive boards for 2.
Seemingly comes out of nowhere sometimes, doesn't she?
Just when you think that the ball's about to come into your team's hands, there's Stone. No, don't give up on the play. Give me that. 2 points. And the skip across, almost stripped away by Hyken. Another Euro step from Brownell, but this time kicks it out. Bautista for 3. Rebounded by Yude. And the foul is called. The first foul for the Riders in this quarter. Oh, and the foul is called on number 16. Say Dagger. It's not actually called on the Riders player. And that's the 4th team foul for the Wolves, and Carolina Marquez checks back into the game. 65-56 is getting a little bit out of their reach at this moment. They need to be close to the Wolves. Here's Ainge. Foul is called. Oh, McCarter Stone caught being a little physical in the paint, as she has been legally all game. Maybe a little illegally at times, but now referee Kinsella spotting the off-ball contact, and the timeout's been called now by the Worcester Wolves. They'll want to talk it over. 65-56, 3 minutes 6 left to play in this game. Look, you've been playing well all game. They've had a slight lull now, the Wolves. If you're head coach Ryan Emery, what are you saying in this moment in time to your team?
I think they've got to look to get defensive stops. You know, like I mentioned before early in the game, you can't always control, you know, offense. And, you know, Riders have gone to a zone and they've made it really difficult for them offensively. If they can't knock down shots, then they've got to rely on their defense to be able to put it away. They can't afford second chance opportunities. Like with Stone, they've got to find her, they've got to box her out, they've got to take her out of that, you know, out of that play. And then try and go back to some of the things that have worked for them. Obviously, Marquez has been a great offensive threat. Maybe look at, you know, having her attacking the basket, trying to find advantage as Loughborough collapse in the zone.
Of course. And mentioning McCarter Stone, 17 points, 11 rebounds, 7 offensive rebounds. As soon as she's come into the game, she's just brought that physicality and that edge that the Riders needed to give them that little advantage and push them into the lead here in this game.
100%.
Definitely an MVP shout now in this game, McCarter Stone.
Yeah, a latecomer MVP shout, but an MVP shout nonetheless. I think one thing that you don't necessarily always realize with her is that she picks up so many offensive rebounds and putbacks that her points rack up quite quickly.
Yeah.
And that's something you've got to be aware of if you're scouting a team like the Riders.
Like the Riders. So here's the Worcester Wolves now ready to get the ball back into play here. 65-56, 3 minutes 06. Tell your friends and family to check in Basketball England's NBL live stream right now to catch the final moments of this game.
Rolling the ball in there, obviously, to try and maximize the amount of time they have on the clock.
And with 3 minutes on the clock, you wouldn't usually do that, but in this game,
it's
important. And the Worcester Wolves hit a big 3. Brownell knocks it down, 65-59. The full court pressure from the Wolves, the energy in the arena is just lifted now, and the foul is called. Marquez reaches across the body of the defender. The hold is called. 2 shots to come. The team foul trouble for the Worcester Wolves. They don't need to be bailing players out at this moment in time.
It's difficult because they're looking to turn their, you know, offensive success into defensive intensity in that moment, and sometimes you get a little carried away. That was a great handle by Ainge and to deal with that pressure.
Unable to get the first to go. Gets the second, and now the Wolves in possession. Brownell. Bautista looks down low. Shona Williams, and ball rotation back to Marquez. Brownell now on the left-hand side. Unable to keep it in the possession. Marquez drives all the way. Marquez and one. Holds on tight. Finishes at the right hand. And the foul is called. The basket is good. And a tough play for Carolina Marquez. And a chance now to close the gap to 4 points. And those words, overtime, come back into play. But still, 2 minutes 24 left in this one. Marquez to complete the three-point play. She does. Immediate pressure from Worcester. Here's Ainge. Ainge finds Januszewska. Hiking off the dribble. Stripped away now by the Wolves. Here's Marquez. Marquez looks up for a teammate. Finds Bautista, kicks it out. Marquez loses her defender. Marquez. And a rebound. Fighting for it. Both ladies with their hands on the ball, really scrapping it out to try and get the boards. And a jump ball's been called. Possession arrow points in the favor of the Worcester Wolves. 2 minutes on the clock here.
Neither team looking to give this one up easily, which is admirable to see.
Now, corner. Brownell bounces off the back of the ring. Januszewska gets her hands to it, and once again, both players get their hand on the ball. Now Riders will get it back. Almost a kind of good situation in that moment for Worcester Wolves. Didn't take too much time on the clock, but now they'll have the possession arrow back in their favor should they need it. Here's Ainge.
A lot of full court pressure here from the Wolves, making it difficult.
In the corner, Dabbs. Januszewska tips it. Bird will keep on holding to it.
That was
Hiking.
a big offensive rebound there from KJ. They need this extra possession to take time off the clock.
Dabbs. Ainge. Through the screen. Ainge. And a fight for the rebound once again. The Riders come up with possession. 2 offensive rebounds. The Wolves don't need this right now, but they also don't want to foul to give 2 easy free throws. Here's Hiking for 3. And a rebound now finally for the Wolves. Here's Marquez. Just over a minute to go. Marquez, hesitation, looks baseline. 3-ball, catch and shoot, rolls around the ring and out. Tipped away by Ainge, and the Worcester Wolves get it back. This game is finishing exactly how we expected it. And a substitution checking into the game. Say a Dagger checking into the game. And Williams takes a break. Into play. Brownell. A fight for the rebound. And it's a Loughborough Riders possession. Januszewska knocks it off the Worcester Wolves defender.
That's an intelligent play there from KJ.
And now here's Hiking. Ainge. Januszewska.
Riders need to show a little composure here.
Ainge. She swings through and the foul is called. I'll say a dagger. A push. Oh, a push, I don't know.
A reach.
A reach.
We'll
Definite
go with
reach.
the reach.
Definite reach. They do now need to obviously use the clock better. And here's Ainge on the line. She was 1 for 2 the last time she visited. Makes the first one this time. 40.2 seconds left to go here in today's game. Doesn't get the second to go. Brownell, a ray of hope for the Wolves at this moment of time. Marquez, inside. And a foul is called. Fouls to give. Foul called the number 7 Ainge for a push. I believe that's her 4th personal. Bautista. Marquez. Marquez drives, floats it in
Tough
for 2
finish.
points. Composed finish. And a timeout called now by the Loughborough Riders. They want to talk it over. It's a 3-point game, 67-64, 25.9 on the clock.
There's still time left.
And this is all about basketball coaching right now. Obviously, the players are going to execute and be composed in terms of the finish and the decision of how this game ends, but the coaches are instrumental in terms of how it all plays out and plans out. Your coach Quintera at this moment in time, you're up by 3. What are you telling your girls to do in this next offense?
I think you're looking for a good shot, regardless, but I think you obviously want to take as much time off the clock as possible. You want to make it difficult for Worcester to be able to set something up offensively. So yeah, like I probably would hold the ball out for as long as possible, you know, give it to someone, where Marquez is not guarding them, because she's obviously going to be, defensively a big threat. You probably expect the Wolves to trap in this situation. So just be ready to be calm, to be composed, and look for a good shot. It's no different to any other point in the game. Just obviously, you're trying to maximize the amount of time you take off the clock.
And then if you're the Worcester Wolves, just shoes on the other foot. You've got to think about, in this game situation, how you can get that stop. And we've seen great defensive displays throughout the game for the Wolves. Are they going to go back to that trap, do you reckon? Is it going to be a little bit more of a different approach?
I wouldn't be surprised if they switched to a zone in this instance, but were aggressive in the zone and active. Either that, or they're going to get up and they're going to show defensive pressure, looking to rotate, trap, and get a steal or a deflection going the other way.
So comes down to the last few moments of this game. It's been an exciting game to be part of here at Loughborough University. Saturday afternoon basketball. We've been blessed with the amount of basketball that we've all been able to watch.
They've got 2 people on the inbounds here. It's quite unusual.
A tough pressure pass. There's Brownell with the interception. It pays off for the Wolves. Now the Wolves, Bautista moves the ball forward, skips it across, Marquez, Brownell for 3, good! Big 3 for Brownell, and a timeout call. A phenomenal play from the Worcester Wolves to get themselves back into this game. We said it at 6 minutes 22. Is this game going to have overtime? At 14.9 seconds, we're all tied up. And a fantastic defensive play led to an executed ball rotation and decision-making to find that shot, Christina. What have we just witnessed?
I mean, like you said, you called it very early. There was 6 minutes to go. We've seen that, change of lead throughout the game. We knew that both teams were going to hang around and try and steal this win off of, one another. I think that it was a great tactical decision by the Wolves coach there to put 2 players on the inbounds. I think it completely threw the Riders off. They were forced to try and make a difficult pass. They came up with the steal, and then Marquez, I think, was the one that, was threw the ball to Brownell, recognized that she's the shooter with the extra pass.
She could have shot herself.
She very well could have done, but she recognized that, that selflessness that we talked about earlier in the game, making that extra pass and putting your teammate in a good position to score.
Wow. 67 to 67, 14.9 on the clock. Worcester Wolves bringing an astonishing comeback into the game, being down by 9 with just around 1 minute 40 to go. They've battled their way back into this game and tied it up with a big shot from Brownell after an incredible defensive play. We're now sidelined with the Riders, 14.9 on the clock. Coach Quintero obviously hoping some magic appears on his board right now to find the Riders a good shot. You don't have to go for the 3.
You do not. I think you take the first good shot that you have.
So the defense now from the Wolves is what's helped them stick around in this game and helped them to tie it up. It's the strong pressure here from Sayadaga against Hykin. This one's going to run down all the way to the final shot. Hykin looks to the baseline. Dabs in trouble, and that's the buzzer. We're going to overtime. Free basketball. If you've not already got free basketball, we have more free basketball. Overtime here at Loughborough University between the Loughborough Riders and the Worcester Wolves. What an exciting end to the 4 quarters of official time.
Definitely, and you can definitely tell that the Wolves have momentum behind them right now. I think that, Riders have really got to come together, find some leadership, find some encouragement, step back on the floor with a certain level of enthusiasm, because until that last run from the Wolves, the game was very much in their hands. So, looking to go into overtime, they need to go back to the drawing board, obviously, listening on this timeout and work out what they need to do to strategically make a difference.
5 minutes of action to come here at Loughborough University with myself, Tahir Hajat, and Christina Gaskin. If you haven't already, tell your friends and family to tune in, join us live in today's action. It's been an incredible game so far, so huge shout out to everybody who's tuned in right now, wherever you are here on Saturday afternoon. The teams are getting ready to come out very shortly for this final 5 minutes. Some stats for you. I didn't know this, but McConnelson's has got 5. She's got 5 fouls. I didn't realize that.
We missed that.
We missed that. 17 points, 11 rebounds for her. The Riders currently missing her at this moment in time, and her inside presence. 14 points, 9 rebounds for Janaszewska. 10 points for Lauren Dabbs. And 9 points, 8 rebounds for Robin Ainge. For the Worcester Wolves, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, Carolina Marquez.
It's almost hard to say that in one breath now.
Yes. But also, Brownell, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals herself.
And obviously that huge 3 to take them into overtime. That can't go unmentioned.
The quality of the game really picked up after half-time. It was very scrappy in the first half. A lot of turnovers, a lot of end-to-end basketball, a lot of missed shots. But this second half, we've seen both teams revitalized and in great form. Marquez, 1 second on the clock. We completely missed that as well. Christina, we're away with the fairies right now.
I do apologize. I had no idea there was time left on the clock. I did think that the transition into overtime happened a little fast, but she did well to get that off. That's all I can say.
Apologies, ladies and gents. Unbeknownst to us, the Riders were stepped out of bounds, supposedly. Dabbs on the baseline, and apparently there was 1 second left on the clock. So the Worcester Wolves had the chance there to get a shot off with that 1 second for a chance to take the lead in the game. Now we have actually gone into overtime. Huge apologies for missing that moment with you, but I'll be honest with you, completely missed it. I did think it was a bit odd that there was a second on the shot clock, but hey, we move forward and we were
obviously very well prepared to go into overtime. We called it from 6 minutes to go in the game,
we didn't want an extra second of basketball. We wanted overtime.
We wanted an extra 5 minutes. We're taking everything that we can at the moment.
So let us know your thoughts, ladies and gents. Who is the MVP of this game? Who have you got on the comments as your MVP? Obviously, you know, the lady of the moment, Brownell, getting them into the game. We're having a couple of shout-outs for her now. And also we're getting shout-outs for Lauren Dabbs. We've got a shout-out Robin Ainge with Connor Stone. Unfortunately found out of the game at this moment, but she's still obviously up there. And now time has been called back in. We are now getting ready for overtime. Marquez to inbound the ball for the Worcester Wolves. And both teams give a round of applause from their benches to get some motivation going. There is no fans, unfortunately, but the energy in this arena is electric. Here's Hykin with an interception. Maloney Danvers putting on the pressure. No easy possession.
And that's what we talked about, you know, throughout this game, is that Wolves will and can hang around, looking to get deflections, looking to disrupt the offense.
Here come the Riders. Dabbs looks down low. Bird back to basket. Turns, good footwork. Opts to kick it out. Hykin, clock. It seemed to be that there was a kick ball there, but nothing called. Now out with Maloney Danvers. Ball passed inside to Marquez. Bounces off each side of the ring. Ainge tries to keep it in play and does, but knocks away by Janaszewska. And they give it to us in the comments, Christina. As much as they've given us praise, they're letting us know that we forgot about.
We got some haters now, unfortunately.
It's all right.
We've got 5 minutes to recover.
We've got 5 minutes to recover.
Another 3.
Off the glass for 3.
I don't know what's happening today, but apparently that's the shot to make.
Phone banking,
internet banking, all the banking is
come
open.
Come into the store, open a new account, and an offensive foul called. Ainge loses control. Turner stands her ground. Put your body on the line. Worcester Wolves get it back. 3-point lead for the Worcester Wolves. Substitution checking into the game, number 5, James. And Ainge will take a break. That's Ainge's 5th and final foul. She's out of the game. She's had such an instrumental impact on her team. But they do have players that can still make that impact coming off the bench, especially Molly James coming in.
Absolutely.
Marquez bounce pass inside Williams. And there's her 2 points. Every Worcester Wolves player on the score sheet now. We mentioned early in the game that she was the only one not to. She has made her presence known and at a very vital moment in the game. Stripped again, once again by the Worcester Wolves. Pushing forward here. Here's Brownell. Long pass ahead. Marquez inside. And a good 2 points for Williams. The Worcester Wolves finding a rhythm now. Pulling away by 7 points. James. Dabs. Off to the left. Rebounding. Maloney Danvers gets into the hands for the Wolves. Slow it down, coach. That's what I'm thinking in my head. Slow it down, coach. Here's Brownell. And the Wolves do just that. Marquez. Maloney Danvers.
I think the Wolves are doing a great job right now of being patient, moving the ball, looking for good opportunities. And there's another second chance opportunity.
And an offensive, a foul call after the offensive rebound. A foul call, the number 6, Janaszewska. And substitution checking into the game for the Wolves. Bautista will check in, replacing number 14, Brownell. She's looking a little tired, but she has had a great impact and kept her team in this game.
Definitely 2 big threes, one to go into overtime and one in overtime off the glass to give them that margin. I think if I'm the Riders now, I probably would have been inclined in that previous moment to huddle, to bring some energy from somewhere, find some leadership, that last bit of fight that they need to stand a chance to pull this game.
Shot goes up. A young group on the floor. Hiking the captain. And Janaszewska. Bird. Bird in the corner. Dabs. Off the dribble. Dabs to her left hand. Fights for her own rebound. Dives on the floor and the foul is called. Foul is called on number 13. Williams. And 2 shots to come. Both teams in team foul trouble coming out of the fourth quarter and into overtime.
That was a great hustle by Dabs. You know, difficult finish for her, fading away from the hoop, but pursues her own offensive rebound, gives them a second chance.
Substitution checking into the game for the Wolves. Nuri Sayadaga and Brownell checking back in.
Got to bring their shooter back on the floor.
Turner and Maloney Danvers take a break. Dabs unable to get the first. Free throws, important. Riders and the Wolves have shot poorly from the free throw line in this game. Both having trouble from the line. Here's the Wolves. Marquez wide open for 3. And Marquez lights it up, knocks it down.
And they were rewarded
with excitement.
There. Definitely rewarded there for great ball movement. They're very patient, they're composed. They know that if they keep moving the ball, eventually there's going to be a defensive lapse and they will have a wide open shot.
10-point game out of nowhere. The Worcester Wolves come back with a great strike and have set themselves up for a possible victory. But there's 2 minutes, 5 seconds left to play. We've had 1 overtime. We couldn't say there'd be another, Christina.
I don't like to say it, but with the way that this game's gone, you know.
Can't rule it out.
Couple big shots by someone on the Riders. Could go. It could go that way. But right now, the momentum is definitely very much with the Wolves. They've got the energy, the relentlessness that they need to be able to put off this win. So unless the Riders come out with a changed attitude and a different approach, then I wouldn't like to call it now, but it's certainly looking like it's Wolves' game.
27 points for Marquez. As I mentioned early on, Carolina Marquez from Portugal actually coached her on a basketball camp, Sun Life basketball camp. Josh Merrington, former Charnwood College coach, who was working out in Sun Life. And Marquez, the connection to Jess Santo, who's part of the Worcester Wolves ladies basketball club, brought that connection over. And she has been phenomenal in her first 3 games here on British soil. Here's Janaszewska. Nice press break there. Here's Janaszewska. She drives onto the right hand, bounces off the back of the ring. Bird out, 3 ball. No good. Januszewska fighting for it. Bird again. James for 3. No good for the Loughborough Riders, unable to get it to go. 3 offensive rebounds. Unable to get a bucket. Marquez off the dribble. Turner. And the foul is called on the floor. Foul called on number 5, James. 2 shots to come now for the Worcester Wolves.
I think it's a difficult question there for the Riders when you pull down 2 consecutive offensive rebounds. Do you want another 3-point attempt, or do you want to try and find something a little bit more high percentage in that moment?
Have to chip away. 1 minute 32 is a long time in basketball term. And the second is good to go. Substitution. Checking into the game for Loughborough. Imogen here into the game. Number 14, Erin Hyken into the game.
Wolves again looking to press the Riders, make it difficult for them.
Oh, apologies, no substitution. Hyken won't come into the game. The pressure here still on. From the Worcester Wolves full court, Januszewska with a crossover. Kicks it out.
Good
Corner
extra
now.
pass.
Here, skips it across. James, long 2. Bounces off the front of the ring. And it's just not dropping for the Riders here in overtime. As the Worcester Wolves now back in offense. They'll let to take their time with this one. Riders still in the zone here. Turner, bounce pass inside. Brownell. Brownell for 3, and that's the dagger.
That's the MVP shot right there
Brownell
for me.
gets it to go. Christina Gaskin throws the MVP award in Brownell's direction as Marquez comes up with another steal. I don't know, Marquez, you got consistent through the game. I'm looking forward to having this debate at the end. 40 seconds to go. Bautista, Marquez looks down low. Sayadaga finds Brownell. Brownell rebounded by Januszewska, and the Loughborough Riders push forward. Dabs. They've got to move the ball forward here, Riders, not dribble it up the court. And an offensive foul called.
It's always tough when you get called for an offensive foul when you've already passed the ball, but obviously that's the right call for the referee in that moment.
Pass the ball up the floor. It's quicker than dribbling the ball up the floor. Is a junior fundamental drilled into you from a young age. Unfortunately, Riders tried to just dribble that one up the floor, and it's resulted in a turnover and a substitution as Carolina Marquez, 27 points in this game, takes a break.
I think the difference between the 2 teams in overtime has been that the Wolves have really been in control of the game. They've moved the ball offensively. They've found open shots where they've wanted to. And they've been united in doing that. And I think with the Riders, they've struggled with that unity in overtime and working together to
Wow,
pull off the
so
win.
they're going to let this one be dribbled out, 67-82, as the final buzzer will sound. The Worcester Wolves on the road take victory, 67-82 in overtime after some fantastic shooting and some incredible, relentless defense. Fantastic also display of what the women's game is all about here in the UK at Division 1 level, not even thinking about WBBL right now.
Definitely, and I think that one thing that can come from this game is that people watching can realize is that defense does win basketball games. You know, early Wolves weren't necessarily making that many shots. They were struggling, but one thing they were consistent about is how they played defense. They had a strategy, they had a game plan, and they stuck to it. And that's a credit to the entire team. That wasn't any one individual. Obviously, Marquez came up defensively very strong in this game, but it's how they played defense together. And it's definitely, you know, worked for them. And now I guess we'll go into the debate of the MVP.
Yeah,
I'm keen to talk about.
Yeah, so look, I didn't realize, but watching that back, 18 seconds was on the clock, and they just let them dribble it out at that moment in time. from my personal perspective, I'm playing. 18 seconds on the clock, I'm playing. I know it might be a 15-point gap or whatever the situation is. Chip away. Like, that's how the game's been played throughout. But the coach opted to dribble it out at the end there.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. I think it's something that I saw a lot when I played in college in America. Once a game was over, that they would dribble out for, you know, much longer than that, because obviously they've got the no backcourt count at that time. But it's something that, you know, as a player, even if my coach asked me to dribble it out, I'm getting up.
Okay.
I don't want to take the loss easily. You know, I want to play right up until the end. And if we have an opportunity to steal it and go down the other end and I'm playing by myself, so be it.
Right then, it's that time. Let's talk about the MVP award, okay? So let's get the stats up there. For the Riders, 14 points, 11 rebounds, double-double for Katie Yanishevska. Robin Ainge, 9 points, 9 rebounds. We've got Makana Stone, who fouled out of the game, 17 points, 11 rebounds to her name. And Lauren Dabb with 10 points. And also, Shell's throw in the hat, we've got Molly James, 5 points, 5 rebounds to assist. So some candidates from the Riders. And from the Worcester Wolves, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals for Brownell. And for Carolina Marquez, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals. The 2 leading stats for the Worcester Wolves ladies team. And also Bautista, I have to give her a quick shout out because she had 6 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists and 2 steals also. So those are the stats leaders on the paper right now. You, just before the end of the game, said Brownell. She's got my MVP.
And I think I'm going to stay with that decision, and the reason being not to negate the incredible effort of Marquez in this game and the defensive intensity, the offensive threat, and the way she found her teammates opening in places. And she was the one, credit to her, that gave Brownell the assist to be able to make that 3 to take it into overtime. But for me, the MVP in this game, hitting that shot in that clutch situation, turning the game around completely for them, and then another big 3 during overtime to be the catalyst really to take them on that lead and that run to be able to really seal the deal. For me, the MVP is Brownell, but strong notable mention for Marquez.
Okay, so we're going to head to the comments as well. We've got people saying check Marquez's stat line. Well done, girls. Got to be Marquez for MVP, both ends of the floor. Can't ignore the stat line of Marquez, but Brown or back-to-back club plays to keep the Wolves in it. She's my MVP. So it's still undecided also in the comments. But I'll be honest with you, I think I have to go with Marquez. We're going to have to split the decision here because of her overall game and just throughout the game, she kept Worcester in it. She kept them rejuvenated, kept them pushing on. And yes, Brownell obviously made the pivotal shots to keep them in the game. But for me, I'm just going to have to go. That's ridiculous, 27 points in the stat line
100%.
She's put up today. But with basketball, the beautiful thing about the game is that we can talk about these things and talk about it till the cows go home. But unfortunately, we can't do that on this live stream. So, ladies and gents, we really appreciate you sharing your time with us this evening for today's WNBL Division 1 fixture. The Loughborough Riders 67 to 82, the Worcester Wolves. That's it from myself, Ty Hadja, and Christina Gaskin. We hope you keep watching basketball, and we hope to be on a stream near you soon. Thank you.